and then she got down to she lost about 500 and put a little bit back on, and she put a little bit back on because she slipped, right? She slipped off, and it's like, and I looked at her and I said, you can't, like, this is part of this is your life. This isn't about like, oh, I'm at 8% body fat, and if I want to go have pizza twice a week, like, okay, like, you can do that, right? But for her, it's part of her life, and the second she starts introducing those things in, she falls down this downward spiral. So again, this is very individualistic.
So is that the kind of idea behind like the suit up mantras? You can't go back and change your beginning, but you can change where you're going to. So like if you do, so like what would you advise people who are building in the consistency, going to the gym, working out, but maybe they make a mistake or they miss a session? How do we just get over that, reset, recalibrate, and start again?
Yeah, I think understanding it's not a mistake, it's part of the plan,
Mhm.
right? It's part of the program. I think it's getting them, a good coach is going to allow them to understand not if they screw up, when. And if we could start improving that from the year prior, we're going in a good direction. Like if someone ate bad food 365 days last year, right? Like they ate fast food 365 straight days. And this year they went and they did it every other day, and you cut that number in half. Well, some would say, well, you're still eating too much fast food. I'm looking at that as an improvement. Now I'm trying to get them, well, can we cut
Definitely.
that in half again? Can we cut that in half again? Like you were at 365 days. Now you're at, whatever the math is on that, 180, 3 days, or 182.2 days, whatever it is. Can we cut that
Yes.
down to 90? I can't do the math on that.
Don't
Can
ask
we
me.
cut?
I'm useless at that.
Yeah, can we cut it down to 90 days now from the 180? Right? And that's what it's about. It's not always about coming in and trying to like crush it, or do what Don does. Like this, this is something I've been practicing for 30 years. Like this is something that's been in my life for 30 years. That's why I've got it more together than most when it comes to this sort of thing. But I think for the average Joe out there, it's just, let's figure out a way. Let's take our time. If we could turn around and make 12 big changes in the next year, maybe change number one is increasing your sleep. You focus on that for a month. Change number two might be hydration. Start nailing your hydration. Like that to me, those first 2 months, those are life altering changes right there. You start cleaning up sleep and hydration, and you do that in
Mhm.
2 months. Like most people are saying, "Well, I'm not really improving. I haven't lost weight." I'm like, you just cleaned up two of the most important elements in your health and wellness: your sleep quality and your hydration. Like that's astronomical, right? So let's focus on that and watch what starts happening. And in just focusing on the process of making good positive change, then you know what? Then you start showing up to parties and people are like, "What are you doing?" Right? Like body looks different. You look happy. Like your skin looks good. Like, oh my God, like what have you been doing? And then suddenly that becomes like, oh wow, like that's funny. Like the scale number hasn't moved much, but people are all commenting because your body composition is changing. But a lot of people, they don't want to, they're looking for things too quickly.
Yeah.
And, you know, again, reverting, I love using this guy as an example because since May, there have been so many changes. He got on the scale in 12 days, 12 days after we started, and he lost, I think it was 37 pounds. And I was like, oh man, here we go. Because I knew what was going to happen. And he is like, I comes in his eyes, oh my God, I lost 37 pounds. I'm like, pump the brakes, pump the brakes. A lot of that weight you lost is probably water.